Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another episode, another session of Anno 1800, the High Life, shaping up to be one of the most complicated and most in-depth DLCs that we've received so far. As we can see, the skyline of our city already has changed quite a bit with the latest additions that we had to our glorious city, but I am facing a couple of problems right now, and one of them is that because a lot of mods broke with the latest update, a lot of things are not working, and my economy was crumbling a bit in the last episode, so I needed to fix that, and I think we have fixed it for now. At least I have fixed it for now. So fur coats is no longer a big deal. There was a big deal in the upcoming episode, right? So coffee is also a bit more stable again. We have around 500. One major problem was actually that a lot of ships disappeared that were modded ships, and those ships are no longer in the game. And since I'm playing an early access version, it's still going to take some time for the mods to be repaired. And I'm just not going to wait for that, right? So we want to see the new content no matter what. And once the mods are back in game, we can just re-add them. No problems really. So that is one thing. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm building ships. The Great Eastern is in the game, so we have discovered that with our scholars, and it's being researched as we speak here right now. It's being constructed, and there's also a cargo ship coming up to fix our trade routes. Now, beside all the ship building, of course, we have our glorious skyscrapers just about here. I haven't received the new quest at the moment, so I think that we just need to continue with some new products here, and also, of course, with the continuation of more of my buildings here. Alright, so let's continue with a few more high rises. We have this very cool button here, upgrade the skyscrapers. As we can see that we have the level 2 ones. I've also got another level 2 here. We do have another block of, well, skyscrapers now popping up just here. I like how they get different shapes there every time we build them in a different district, right? This one here, there we're probably going to have the Empire State Building. I just call it like that, as you know. So we can add a couple more of these skyscrapers here, right next in the city center. So those guys here, and more or less those guys here. Boy, that is expensive. It's really wasting all our elevators that we have. And not only that, what we're also going to do is we're going to upgrade some of them right away to level 2, so that it gets a bit more diverse, like this one here. Perfect. And don't worry, we're getting up to 5 tiers of these buildings, so it's going to be pretty interesting how this one shapes up. And of course, as always, during nighttime, they also look particularly spectacular. And I definitely do intend to add some more of these beautiful shinies here, so the spotlights that we have, because it's just looking pretty epic when we look at our city then. Now, in order to fix my economy, as I said, we are getting now some new ships, but we also need to do something else. Let's just check out the New World real quick, because in the New World I did a lot of additions. Now, previous to the modded game, we had Playa del Carmen as our main city in this game that provided the obrero workforce, but that's not the case anymore. So I've upgraded now the remaining cities, or the other cities here, to obreros as well. Took quite a bit of work really, but they have now obreros, and thus my plantations over here are working again. Not at full speed yet, and not at high efficiency yet, but enough so that we get those resources in. Now, one very important thing, what we still need for my jolly good investors there working in the skyscraper buildings, one of that is what we need, the chewing gum. Now, the chewing gum is one of the new productions that we have, and it's also being, well, produced in a factory that we have here. So the multi-factory, right? The I can't see it right now. There it is now, finally. It is pink. We can change that hopefully. Or it's going to stay pink. And in this one we are going to, well, make some chewing gum. What we need for that first is caoutchouc. We already have that. Oh, look at that. Yep, Princess Ching. We are also on the takeover course of this island here, River of Stars. So it's her last bastion, more or less, in the New World. And I would really like to take this one also because of the sugarcane and because of the corn fertility. Corn is something we do have in the western frontier, and we're already producing quite a lot of that over here at, I think, only 100%. Is that right? Yes, we might push that to... Is that possible? Yes, it would be possible to push it to 50%. At the same time, also, the Coconut Queen 3 is coming out. Very good. Hello there, Coconut Queen. And you, my jolly good fellow here, you are going to be on a very important trade route, and that is from the New World with the chemical chewing gums. Let's send the coconut queen there right to the New World and right to... wait a second. The New World, and we want Maribo for that, because Maribo is going to be one of the construction centers then. I'm also going ahead and construct 2 more cargo ships because we're going to need them. There was also a ship missing here for the Heavenly Gate. We have a major production over there with the furnaces, and as we can see, they're lacking quite a lot of iron there all the time. I've already assigned the ship for that, but 1 ship will not be enough. We do, however, have enough iron, right? So iron and coal is full anyway. The steel production, there's nothing in the way for that. Yet, of course, we do need more ships for that. This is a bit of a problem. We've lost a lot of ships there, and I need to still construct a lot of them. There's also the zinc missing here. It's just going to take a bit of time here. I'm looking from time to time at Archie. Perhaps he's selling something. And what can help here is purchasing just that oil tanker, right? I mean, we don't really care about the money at this point. And then I'm just going to delete them again. So usually they get something new. Even though my influence is not looking so bad, I don't need oil tankers. I need new ships. Now, back to Maribo. In Maribo, we actually have already, let's have a look at that, a lot of caoutchouc. I was transporting a lot of caoutchouc to Maribo in the last episode. Reason for that is we have lots of obreros here that we are not using at the moment, right? We are using some of them for our sugar refinery over there, but it's really just a couple of buildings. And here it is where we want to have our chemical plants from now on. Let's just find us a suitable location for that. Here we have the orchards for the cinnamon that we also need. And I think the chemical factories we could use over there close to these oil patches, because basically, you know, oil patches are not looking beautiful anyway. And let's just plant it there in this not so beautiful area. There we have it then, and chemical plant chewing gum. And this actually requires though the sugar that we already have, the caoutchouc that we already have, and it's also giving us the orchard, the cinnamon that we also have on this island here already. I could get a few more, by the way. These are just jornaleros. Let's have these chemical plants right next to those sugarcane plantations in a good and orderly fashion. Just beside those patches there. And let's just have, I don't know. Let's have those 3 for now. I hope we are not going to need more than that. We probably will, because chewing gum, I guess, is quite popular, but we're just going to try it out. Also having, yep, a warehouse here. And of course, what we always need for all of that is another fire station just next to that. There we have them. The only thing that's missing now is the corn for that new production that we have there. The cinnamon. Oh, wait a second. No, we have everything. Perfect. The sugar is something we already produce here. And we might just boost that. Oh, that is quite harsh though. Could boost it by 25%. We still have a perfect happiness there, plus 12. They'll be fine. And we can actually go ahead now and just upgrade them. So warehouse, then we have the fire station, and then 2 for now. Right? I'm hoping that this is fine. Obreros, we have enough. And now the caoutchouc, sugar, and cinnamon should be getting over there. And then the chewing gum. Very nice. Now, we have a trade route established here that was getting the... Yep, that was getting the caoutchouc to Maribo. Let's just check this one out there real quick. Now, while we wait for that new production to really kick in and wait for the next ships to come out, we do need some more development in Crown Falls. So one more need that is coming up now with our skyscrapers here is the shopping centers or the department stores. We have one already that is now working, right? And that is actually taking in all the skyscrapers. And then we have that second one here that I want to have a look again. We still have, I think, a couple of new thingies here. So the crockery might be something. So let's just have a look at that. We can take this one now. And this one has a minus 25% for cigars. And this is something that I would really like mostly. But for that, we do need the skyscraper level 3. All right, before we can go with that. But don't let me forget that. I want that minus 25 cigars, because cigars is something that's really expensive to, well, to produce. Alright, while we waited for that, the next cargo ship is out Condor. So let's put Condor now to one of my new trade routes, or to one of my trade routes where we now have some ships again. There's the steel, and then we had it for steel, iron, and coal. There we have already one of the Great Easterns, so that's that. And here we should be having now the Condor as the next ship in line. Perfect. Even though, yes, now that I see it, we probably will need the Coconut Queen on this one. Let's assign the Coconut Queen to this trade route. As we can see, it's a pretty complicated and big trade route, and I would like to keep it like that. And this cargo ship here is going to be now for the chemical plant, right? Speaking about the chemical plant, just need to check it now if it's working. There we have the chewing gum. It's working now at 100%. Perfect. And the cool thing is, yes, for these multi-factories, once again, we can decide on what good we want to produce here. So chewing gum it is right now. Then we have ethanol and celluloid. So a couple of other things here, but I'm probably going to keep them now for chewing gum as of now. Let's go ahead, create a new trade route from Maribo to Crown Falls. This is going to be yet another trade route, and yeah, as we know, Crown Falls is already stuffed with all of these thingies. And then we're just going to choose the chewing gum. Oh, we have some cigar and chocolate here as well. Condor 4 on the ship, 200 tons we're going for now. And off it goes. A new trade route has been established, and we should not forget assigning a second ship to that right away once it's finished. So that's just happening over there, and we can assign another cargo ship right away as well. Perfect. It's a bit hard to imagine though that investors want chewing gum, but I guess we'll just go with it. While we wait for the chewing gum, now, while we wait on the chewing gum, right, what I need to do here is I want to keep my investors happy. And one more thing that is happening right now is that the pocket watches are rather low. And pocket watches, as it happens, also is important for my engineers. So another thing that was disrupted with all the mods gone, for the pocket watches, we do need the gold bar. As we can see, we have lots of them. And as far as I remember, glasses, and we're full of that as well. I just need to check if I'm correct here, and I am. Perfect. And we probably have some gold watches over here somewhere. I have 0 on this island. There we have them, 4 of them. Let's just build all of them right away, since production is not really a problem, or our consumption. They do get their glass and their gold and their electricity. 4 of them should be fine. We're just going to check this one, and I could even boost it by another 50% if I want to without any penalty. Thank the gods for that. And my next ship, it's still taking a bit of time. Let's commission a third one. Doesn't matter. Another thing is the town hall that I want now. So there we have another town hall with those beautiful new trees. Let's just add this one to the area then here, if I'm allowed to. Thank you very much. And in here, I would like to use a couple of new items now for these people there, especially with my skyscraper people. And that would be one thing. By the way, we do have a school down here as well that we can then waste. And what I want to do here is the bonus supply. So everyone that has the members club, and there is the members club right beside it. So that's why I have it beside it, right? So we can basically use it in here. Everyone gets the cigars fulfilled right away. Let's boost this one. Very important, because cigars is quite on high consumption there usually. Also here provides the residents with happiness, plus the need for champagne is fulfilled as well. And hooray, that is actually something that my investors want as well. I can also get rid of this pub here that we had because we needed to unlock something, right? So the pub beside the member club no longer needed. That's why I also like to keep some of my lower service buildings at the moment, because we could pump in more houses than here once again, like this, right? So those guys here, even though this is not looking so good, but those guys here perhaps also becoming engineers then at some point. So let's just build them right here in the town center. There we have some green area that I could still fill in again. Police station is no longer needed here in the city center. So let's just have another block of houses there once more. And most likely we're going to have some nice ornaments here, because it's just looking good for it. Right, and I would also like to keep some more engineer skyscrapers. So I'm going ahead now for my engineers. While I'm planning something else, the new cargo ship is coming out, and we can assign it right away to the chewing gum trade route that's on the way now. So there's 2 of them coming up. And by the way, since it's most likely not going to be enough chewing gum, let's disable the chewing gum for my investors. And the engineers actually don't need it. Perfect. The engineers, there they have it. Let's also deactivate it for those guys here. Furniture store would be the next one, but that's with the investor level 3. So that's something I should have. There is the space for it then, more or less. Or instead of the school, we could also push in then, yep, one of these stores here. That's fitting. And then I would like to have a few more skyscrapers in this area. So we just need to have, once again, some room for some of these convenience stores. So there's probably one here. Right, so all of these guys here have it then. So let's get rid of those houses there. And those houses here can be skyscrapers now. Hey, well, yeah, there we have them. Perhaps also some of the surrounding ones. Perfect. Just here. And then I do have, hopefully now, the space for it. Perfect. For another of these stores. Beside the main road. And I might also go ahead then and upgrade all of those guys here then to skyscrapers as well. That's a bit expensive though for now, so I'm waiting. Alright, I do need to disrupt my old town there a bit for the next town hall that we have. I do have the marketplace here, I do have the pub, and theoretically that's not needed, right? But since it's my old town and I want to keep that flavor of having a pub and a marketplace in the center of the old town together with the church here, I do need to get rid of some of these buildings here. So let's just check it where we could have it, and I think this one is a suitable location to get, well, as many buildings as possible. So let's get rid of those and instead have another town hall. So this is the town hall in the old town. Let's just go ahead and have some nice surrounding there, I guess. So just this one here, and then probably some hedges. That might work out wonders. Right, and in the background, since it's new and since I like these new ornaments a lot, some of those white cherry trees once again. And in here we can now use some of these new items. So one of them would be the bonus supply when they're fulfilled with the church need, they're provided with rum. This is pretty cool since all of them have the church need fulfilled. Is that a Pope? Yeah, that's Pope Lucius the First, the Rejuvenator. So that's something. Plus artisans are getting a bit happier now. And the other one was the bonus supply provided with beer. Alright. Another ship is coming out, Resurrection the Third, and once again we're going to put this one on an iron trade route. So I think we have an iron ore trade route somehow active just for this single island down there. Right. Oh, there's also something here, but there is a ship on that. There we have the ship on that. There we have our construction materials, and there we have another one that is transporting wool and iron. Oh my goodness. Alright. A cargo ship would be very bad on this trade route here, to be honest. Right, so that's not something I can use. This is from Embesa, very important for the tailored clothes. So let's go for this one. And actually, let's go ahead and... Yeah. Yeah, we have to go with the cargo ship there, unfortunately. Perfect, we have 73 tons of chewing gum now in the storage. So it is about time to open it up to my investors there. Not the engineers yet, because engineers, you know, they're not that happy with anything. But the investors, we can then upgrade them to the next tier. And I'm looking forward to that. Very important. And so it is time, tier 3, finally. Let's go for, where should we go for? Yeah, here, right beside the big tower then. To the next tier. Boom. There we have them. Next happy investor. This one has an intense panorama now, of course, because it is surrounded by tier 1 houses. Even though we might go for tier 2 at least in the surrounding area. Here, for example. And there I think we still have another one that I would like to upgrade to the highest, or the next highest tier there. Tier 3 as well. And then we can have those here to tier 2 at least. Right, so it's a bit lower. But that should still be fine then. And they should both have, yep, the intense panoramic effect. That's a bit more income, basically. It's a bit of, I mean, not that we really care about the income there, but it's just nice to have, really. And even more impressive, of course, these towers just look then when we are down here, looking at them from up there. Beautiful. What's interesting to see is we could probably have a lot of tier 3 skyscrapers, because the chewing gum is still at 0 consumption there, so they don't really consume a lot of that. I would have been very worried if they did. We have a lot of elevators there still, so what we could is we could also boost now a couple of new skyscrapers probably here. So let's open up a new block of them just over there, and then I will of course, you know, diversify them once again into different tiers of skyscrapers, the same we did already here. We could have a bigger one here in this beautiful location there. Alright, another cargo ship is also coming out, Mudlark 3. Of course, we can continue here building a few more of them, but Mudlark 3 is going to have its own trade route, something that has been missing, or we still have that wool somewhere looking around. I could also just have a direct trade route, and I think it's better this way. Let's create our own trade route between Heavenly Gate and Crown Falls, just for the iron ore that we had, right? Just from Crown Falls, there we have all the iron ore, and it's just transporting basically 200 tons of that back and forth to Heavenly Gate all the time. We need that, we need the steel. Very important to have this up and running to keep our factories, of course, from running as well. So far so good. Tier 3 is now in effect.